What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another top five. And man, this is so exciting. We did the top five debut albums of all time last month. This month, we are doing the top five sophomore albums. So the second album of an artist or band's career, and there's so many good ones to choose from. Really hard to whittle down to five, but I think I did it. So let's get right to it. At number five, Aha Shake Heartbreak by Kings of Leon from 2005. Man, this is such an amazing record, and the one that actually got me into them. I had heard of them with Youth and Young Manhood, but it wasn't until I heard the opening notes of this record that I instantly became a fan. Just the opening track alone, Slow Night So Long, is incredible, and every single song thereafter. I mean, this is just, non-stop rockers. Even the ballads are great as well, songs like Milk and Remamo, but the rockers are really where it's at. Songs like Taper Jean Girl and Raz, and just like there's so many gems on here. Even Soft is just so fun, but I think for a lot of people this was an entry point into Kings of Leon, and one that to this day I still think is one of the best rock albums ever made, and that's just my number five. So now at number four, Brighter Later by Nick Drake. Absolutely amazing record, and sadly one that even when it came out most people didn't know about. They didn't know about any of his albums until sadly after he passed away. But I mean, still to this day, I think this just holds up. All three of his records are amazing, but this is my personal favorite. Again, this kind of was my entry point to this artist. The first I heard of him was from the Garden State soundtrack with One of These Things First, which is an amazing track from this album. But for me, Northern Sky, just hands down one of the most beautiful songs ever recorded on this record, and introduction and a beautiful instrumental. Just everything on here is gold, and just bittersweet that myself included didn't know about Nick Drake until many years later. But absolutely amazing sophomore record, and that's just my number four. So now at number three, The Bends by Radiohead, 1995. This, to me, still is one of their absolute best records, which is really saying something. But to follow up Pablo Honey, which was a really good record, with something this superb, I mean, just amazing. The title track, High and Dry, Fake Plastic Trees, so incredible. Street Spirit Fade Out, one of the best closing tracks. Planet Telex, an amazing opening track. I mean, this is just one of the most gorgeously produced, epic rock albums ever made. And still to this day, one of my very faves. And that's just my number three. So now at number two, A Rush of Blood to the Head by Coldplay. Not a big surprise here. You've seen it on my wall of perfect albums behind me. I just think this is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Another album that kind of got me into the band. I was already somewhat of a fan from Yellow and Trouble off of Parachutes, but man, once I heard Politic for the first time, I was like, where has this band been all my life? Just song after song, In My Place, God Put a Smile Upon Your Face, The Scientist, one of the most amazing ballads of all time, all the way through to Amsterdam, one of the best closing tracks of all time. This is just unbelievable. So good. And that's just my number two. So now at number one, Nevermind by Nirvana. I mean, come on, man. This would be hard to argue for many people as just the greatest sophomore album of all time. Bleach, as great as it was, most people didn't even know of Nirvana until this came out, especially because of MTV and Smells Like Teen Spirit. But it's so much more than that. I mean, every single song on here is a masterpiece. In Bloom, Polly, Come As You Are, Territorial Pissings, Lithium. I mean, all 12 tracks. I mean, I remember just listening to this album over and over again when it came out in 1991, and it still stands as one of the greatest albums of all time. and definitely, in my mind, the greatest sophomore album of all time. So let me know, guys, what your top 5 would be. If you're so bold, leave me a top 10, and be on the lookout later this week. I will be posting my top 10 sophomore albums in shorts form, so you'll see, the full top 10. But guys, we got so much more on the channel. Top 5s. The top 3 show is now in full swing. Be on the lookout for the next episode of that. We got a lot more top 5s coming in the upcoming weeks, a lot more to come on the channel, and a lot to be excited about. So guys, thank you so much as always for watching, and as always,